Balancing family loyalties. Dear Annie, my daughter has a 13-year-old son by her first husband and a 14-month-old by her new husband. She and the new husband have been living together for over 7 years. She moved 8 hours away with our grandson, then 6, and the boyfriend immediately moved there and moved in. He stated many times that he never wanted kids, and it was obvious he was jealous of my grandson's need for his mom's attention. My grandson had spent every weekend with his dad, who also moved there and lives a mile away. My new son-in-law had succeeded in getting my daughter to go along with the things, to distance her emotionally from her older son. Of course, his son is the light of their life. They now have a living au pair who cares for the 14-month-old. Recently, they came for a weekend. My daughter got sick, which led to everyone here visiting to get sick. The au pair was not here and stayed well. They all were mostly recovered when the 13-year-old got worse with a fever, sore throat, and a cough. She sent him sick to his dad's for the week, saying they couldn't afford to risk any of them getting it. Yet they risked his dad getting it. She then said he couldn't come home and would have to be alone all day with a fever of 102.6 and no one to care for him while his dad worked. I asked why he couldn't come home, where he could stay in his room and the au pair could prepare food for him. She adamantly refused that option as she couldn't risk the au pair getting sick, or any of them, even with the mask and the gloves and being isolated upstairs. That night, his fever spiked to 103.6, and his dad stayed home the next day and took him to the doctor. He was alone the rest of the week as he recovered from what turned out to be the flu. He was not allowed back home until he was completely well. She did stop by and drop off food and one day visited for a while, but I was told not to mention it to her current husband, as he didn't want her going into the house to see him at all. I feel like this is a child abuse or neglect. I'm horrified that my daughter went along with this. Her husband seems to control everything, even though she's the successful one. He lifts her up. She lives up to her. He's been a terrible influence and has never shown my older grandson any love at all. She sees nothing wrong with any of this or the latest demand. If I point it out, she will cut me off completely and not allow me to see my younger grandson. Her husband is encouraging her to cut ties with her whole family. My ex-son-in-law will make sure we are always in my older grandson's life. If I don't say anything, I feel like I'm sacrificing my older one to stay in the life of the younger one, and I can't live with myself. If I do that, I watched him from the time he was 6 weeks old until she moved him away. He's my heart. What would you do in a no-win situation. Dear no-win situation.